I came back from Japan just yesterday. I was there for about a week and I noticed a lot of different things, so I just wanted to make a video. Anyone who is interested in going, or anyone who's just interested in Japan, maybe you guys will take something away from this. But this is just my personal experiences and my personal views. I'm not saying that this is exact culture or traditions or customs. So again, just things that I personally noticed. We just stayed around the vicinity of Tokyo, like 30-40 minutes within that area. So anything that I say in this video is kind of like pertaining to those areas. I'm not speaking on behalf of like the little areas or the villages or anything else that's out there. So I made this little list. I'm just going to be going over every item on the list of things I noticed, and I wrote these down when I was in Japan. Every time something came to mind, I just wrote it down. So my first impression of Japan was, oh my god, this country is extremely clean. When we were on the bus to Tokyo, the street was impeccable. You could eat off of the street in Japan. You know, I wouldn't do that, but you probably could. I rarely saw garbage. It was just impeccably cleaned. Everywhere was just clean, clean, clean. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Streets were cleaned, stores were cleaned, restaurants, everything was clean. Good job, Japan. Another thing that I noticed is that our right side of the road is their left side, so everything is just opposite. So when the guy was making a left turn, it was kind of weird because he was going onto the inner part of the street. If you're a driver, you'll just know what I mean. So it's just weird because everything's opposite. So you kind of had to accustom yourself, because when you're walking, usually you'll take the right side when you're walking, and then the people coming from the opposite direction will be on the left. So in Japan it was reversed, so I kind of had to get accustomed to that, especially when you go up the escalators, because what I noticed there also is when you're on the escalator, in America you can just take up the whole escalator, like have two people standing in the middle and just blocking the whole escalator as it's going up. In Japan, you really should not do that. Everyone stands on the escalator to the left in a single line, and they leave the right side open to anyone who wants to just walk up the escalator. So the left side, they'll just be standing, again, single line of people behind each other, and then the right side will be completely empty, and you leave a space for anyone who just wants to go up faster. So when we were walking, I constantly saw these thick yellow lines with things protruding out of them. It was like a pattern. So if you walk on it, it's a little bit uncomfortable. And at first I was wondering, what are these lines? They're like lines in the middle of the sidewalk, and then lines, especially in the train station, you'll see big, thick, white, yellow lines. And I saw this everywhere. I saw this on streets. I saw this in the metro. When you're walking up the stairs in the metro, there will be an up arrow and then a down arrow, so it shows you which stair area to walk up instead of just walking in the middle and everyone just kind of bumping into each other. Again, everything was just so organized. And so even if Japanese people weren't that great at English, they were always so kind and so helpful. We would ask them a question and you can see them kind of struggling to help us, but we still made it work. They always tried to help us. I remember me and my friend were looking at our map in the middle of the train station, and we're looking at it, and this guy randomly comes up to us and asks, hey, do you guys need any help? And he ended up walking us to our train, and he was just so nice, and he didn't even know us. It's happened more than once where people will see us kind of like looking around or looking at our map and come up to us and ask us if we need help. So people there are just so nice. So before I went to Japan, I watched a lot of videos about customs, stuff you should do, stuff you should know, and most of the people said you shouldn't be talking on the trains. People are very quiet. And when I actually went and I experienced it myself, I knew this to be true. You should not talk on the train. And if you are talking, just do it really, really, really quietly. I rarely saw anyone talking. When I was on the train, there was not a single word to be said from anyone. Everyone was on their phone. Literally everyone was on their phone or reading a book. And honestly, I didn't mind. I mean, if you're going from work or from school and you're tired, you don't feel like talking, you don't feel like listening to other people being loud, I kind of preferred that, honestly. And when I was on the bus, I hardly said anything, or if I was talking to my friend, we were talking very low or not really anything at all. So when we were in the shops, I noticed that there was only one of every item. So when I took it up to the cashier, they usually went in the back and then got me a brand new item that was always packaged nicely, something like this. So they give it to you like in a plastic bag, nice and neat, and it's the brand new one. Basically, the stuff that's in the store is kind of like a showroom. They have one of each item in different colors, And so you can try that one on, and they never give you the one that's in the store. They usually go to the back and they pull out a brand new one. And this is with anything that you buy. And when they do give it to you and you buy it, they package everything so nicely. They put tape over everything to close it up. And then when they hand you your bag, they put this piece of tape in the middle, and it'll be like a cute, if it's like a brand, they'll put a branded piece of tape. But like this one's branded. They'll put a piece of tape kind of closing the bag, so it's not, you know how it's usually wide open? Nope, it's sealed from there, so it doesn't like fly open, which I really liked. In Japan, you really feel like they care about what they're giving you. They're not just shoving it in a bag and just giving it to you. They package everything. They put it in nice bags. I went to McDonald's. They put every item in a small bag and then they taped it. I thought it was so nice. It was the fanciest meal I've ever had. And that was at McDonald's. So when you're actually going to pay, if you're buying something, you'll notice that there's a little plate. It'll either be metal or like a bright blue rectangle with like stuff coming out of it. You're probably wondering what that is. You'll probably see that in every store. And usually what that's meant for is you put your credit card or your money on it. And I can't really speak as to why they do this. If I were to guess, I would say it's to keep everything clean because you're not putting it on the counter, the dirty counter, even though everything's clean over there. So again, can't really say as to why they do that, but I really like it because it's organized, and if there's coins, they're not flying all over the counter. So you usually just put your credit card or your cash there, and then the cashier takes it. Most of the time, they won't directly take it from you from your hand. Sometimes if you're paying and you give them the card, they'll literally just go and put it back in that bowl or that plate. And so you just keep it there until they're finished, and then when they're ready to process your order, then they take the card from the plate and then they do everything. So another big thing is that there are lines everywhere. If you're getting on a bus, if you look down the floor, there will be lines tracing an actual line that you wait in. You don't just like wait randomly. Like for the bullet trains, when I looked down at the floor, there was literally like lines tracing an area where you stand and wait in line for that train. If you're going to try something on in Japan, especially clothing stores, what I notice is they'll have like a small fitting area, and then they'll have a rug in the fitting room, and you can't go in with your shoes. You have to take your shoes off, leave them outside of the fitting room, and go in with your socks. And you can't go with your shoes on and be on the rug. In some fitting rooms, they'll have this box with these mesh sheets, and you're probably wondering what the hell they are, because me and my friend were like, what? You actually put them over your head if you're wearing makeup, that it just protects the clothes from the makeup, like when you're slipping something on. And some restaurants will also make you take your shoes off. But there will be like a cute shoe rack or something like that, or shoe boxes where you put your shoes. I noticed that there is fashion everywhere, and I really love it. There's different kinds of styles. People dress very, very well there, which I can appreciate. It's not like someone got lazy and put on sweatpants and just walked outside. They really put effort into how they're dressed. So socks are a big deal there, I guess, because most of the time you have to take your shoes off if you're at a restaurant or people's houses. So they have a lot of cute socks there, a lot more detailed socks than we do here. For instance, there'll be like a whole sock with like Sailor Moon's face on it. There's just a lot of thought going into socks, and a lot of girls will wear socks with heels, which is kind of cute. A lot of them wear tights with socks and then heels, or tights with socks and just shoes. It's a cool style. I like it. The toilets are crazy there. There's a billion buttons, and I was too scared to press any of them because I was like, I'm not having water squirt on me right now. I don't need that. They have a music button where you can press and music plays. I won't really get into that too much because it is the bathroom. They have heated toilet seats, which are great because then if you go over here in America, they're freezing, and if you're in the winter, it sucks. I'm not gonna get too much into detail about that stuff, but just the toilets are very high tech. There was one bathroom where you wave your hand over the trash can and it actually opens up and you just dump your napkins or whatever else in there, and you don't even have to touch anything, which is awesome. So as far as sizes go in Japan, they don't have like 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, whatever, any of that stuff. They have small, medium, and large. And their large is actually super small, so even when I was trying on shoes, I had was large. Like what if you're not any of those? What if you're just a weird, like, in-between size? When we met up with our Japanese friends there, first thing we wanted to do as Americans is, what do? We hug. Oh my god, hi, how are you? No, they don't do that in Japan. And we kind of had to like force ourselves to stop doing that. We met up with one of our friends, and my friend hugged her. My friend Amelia hugged her, and you can tell she's just like, oh my god, what's happening? Like, my Japanese friend is like, she's like, you know, she didn't know what was going on, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I guess they don't hug. So yeah, they don't hug. Maybe Japanese people do hug. I'm not saying this is for everyone, that all Japanese people don't hug, but the ones that we hugged and the ones that we asked said that they don't like to hug, or that's not what they do. So there are no garbage cans on the streets. And this sounds really weird, and it was really weird at first. We had a bunch of, like, if we were eating like if I was eating like a granola bar and I had the wrapper and I was like, okay, I need to throw this away, but there's no garbage. Okay, this is really awkward. I just put it in my purse. You have to walk into a store or a restaurant and then throw it in their garbage. We asked one of our Japanese friends why this is. There was no garbages really anywhere on the streets or in the train station that we found. He said it's because it just looks dirty, and that's just not what they do. I mean, I agreed with him. It was a lot cleaner. The streets look so clean without the garbage cans there. Again, not gonna say why or why not they do it, but that's just something that I noticed, that there was a lack of garbage cans. And even this goes back to when we were in Asakusa Temple, where we were at the street vendors. We bought an ice cream cone, and we went to go eat it. We went to walk around and eat our ice cream, and the guy actually stopped us. He's like, you can't walk and eat it. You have to eat it, like, right in the vendor area. You have to stay in the vendor area where they sold the ice cream and finish eating, and then you can leave. So I thought that was extremely interesting. I didn't see a lot of people on their phones and walking. So either that's texting or talking. I probably saw no one doing that. When we went out to eat, they don't give you napkins. Rather, they give you one napkin, and it's like a packaged napkin, and it's usually rolled, and it's wet. It's like a cleansing napkin, so you use it when you're finished, I guess. And it's not really the best way for Americans, because we love napkins. We literally have like a stack of napkins next to our table. So this was pretty new to me, as horrible as it sounds, because we always use napkins, like a bunch of napkins. But whenever we went to a restaurant, they would literally give us just a single napkin. When we did go out to eat, there were usually bins that you can place your stuff. Like if you had your purse with you, you didn't have to put it on the table or on the chair next to you. They would have a bin right near your table, which you can put your stuff into. And sometimes they'll have like a buzzer or something that you press, so that when you're ready to place your order, you just press that buzzer and then the person comes. One of the biggest things I noticed, there's a thing with the trench coat there. I don't know what it is, but it's like the biggest fashion accessory in Japan for women. There's just that the tan trench coat. The beige, tan, whatever color, that's just trench coat. I think every single girl that I saw at the mall was wearing this trench coat. And if she wasn't wearing this trench coat, every single store had a mannequin that was wearing this trench coat. So yeah, the trench coats are huge in Japan right now, the beige, tan ones. So I don't know, it's just something I noticed. So when you're saying thank you or saying hello, usually they'll do like a bow, and it's not like like this, like do all the way down to the floor. It's just something like thank you, like arigato, something like that, just something small. So it's just more polite, respectful. I know, I loved everyone there. I didn't meet a single mean person there. So those are just some things that I noticed in Japan. Comment below with some stuff that you guys noticed. Thank you guys for watching, and if you want to know more about my trip to Japan, I'm going to have a couple of other videos either linked in this video or in the description box. Bye!